Hi, it's Beezy. I wanted to take a few minutes to connect and play with things that are unfolding, going to unfold, how they might unfold, and how, for the most part, they won't unfold and cannot unfold like so many people think they will. So there's a wide-ranging, free-ranging topic. Part of what I'm focusing on and I'm nudged to do the recording about is that ways to shift one's perspective, perception, prescripting of punishment, of the need or desire for retribution, and perhaps a new concept is the comprehension that we have all, not one being missing, have been complicit in all that has unfolded. And this is a huge subject, so I'm just touching on it a little bit today because I was nudged to, asked to, and it's coming, unfolding soon and now in greater and greater ways, both the data coming out and how we'll to be in alignment with ourselves, with all of ourselves, with the changing and new vibrational landscape. We'll have to shift the things that I just mentioned. So helpful to understand, if not already comprehended, that the justice system on this planet does not exist the way we think it is, or for the purposes that we think it does. And there is nothing just about it. There is no such thing as legal and lawful. There is a construct about legal and lawful. There is a construct that the old systems are written in, designed by, and set up for, and they're touted as being justice and equal justice and all, and nothing could be further from the truth. They function exactly the way they were designed, and they seem to be broken the way they from how we were taught that they're supposed to be, but we're just seeing it for the first time. So that's not the only thing, system, all systems, sectors, and sections of reality, of civilization are that way. But the main focus I wanted to focus on is accountability, having one be accountable and come to account for the choices made and the directions, directives, and things carried out. Absolutely. But it will not be from the linear, from the dualistic retribution, punishment thing. It can't be, because that won't take into account all that has happened. That won't be in alignment with the expansive energies that, whether we want to or not, we all are moving into. And it won't be in alignment with who we have already become and are more fully becoming. The overall justice in the truest sense, and balance, and writing of chart of accounts and various ways in that way to describe it will take place, will transpire, will unfold. But that would be through cosmic justice. That would be through vibrational and source-aligned balancing of scales. So one of the reasons that I was nudged to play with this a bit, because it's a complex subject. It's a charged, emotional, rife subject, especially as more and more things are coming out now, and they haven't even begun, and the depth of them in any system, structure, or sector come out, but they will. They all shall. And as I said, we are all complicit in that. It's and to greater and lesser degrees, from inaction or actions, from non-thought or conscious thought. And so that's something that will be a major topic, a major challenge, a major integration, lots of different ways to say it, that we will all need to flow through and come into alignment with. And, we'll get agitated like a big cosmic washing machine, and we will need to face it and walk through it and come out the other side. Because any forms of punitive things that are coming from a sense of being wronged, or a sense of get the rat bastards for what they've done, like I said, is not in alignment with where we are already beginning to live from. And one may say, well, I don't really give a blanky blank about that because of what they did and everything else. Well, first of all, you're eternal, so often somebody is not going to do the kind of justice you think it is if you think that you're just born and you die. And that will hurt you more in the scheme of your evolution and your eternity as a being and your soul's being than it would ever hurt them. So the hardest part for all, whether you think they're bad or good, is to come into alignment, to go through their own process of being accountable for the choices they made and doing things that are in alignment with how to move their whole being, their vibration, their very focus of their existence into a more and more and more expansive state. And all of what I just said, depending on one's perspective and what particular grievance one is focused on, will be a challenge to do. Yet we must do it. That is part of what this hyper-accelerated evolutionary process is bringing forward to us. How many times have you seen a movie or some kind of thing where you've got the good guys and the bad guys, and the bad guys can break the rules and do this, and the good guys have to stay in alignment. They have to stay on the right side and in that flow. That's a metaphor for how consciousness and knowing things one can be and make their choices, and with their free will in full measure, and not infringe on someone else's, diminish someone else's at the same time. That is what we're actually walking, talking, living, breathing in a physical body, embodying right this moment. And we're here, we're at that point. It's been something that has been on my radar and thinking about and talking with a few others about for years, but we're here now. And my saying is, you can get your pitchfork, you can get your righteous anger, and have at it. Absolutely have at it. You got 5 minutes. And then we have a lot of work to do, a lot of expansion to do, a lot of recreating and balancing and coming to create something amazing and totally different for all those reasons, because that is spectacular and it's what we do as creator beings, and because we have all been complicit in and a part of traveling as far as we possibly could go away from source in our journey to know source, down to the depths and the bowels and every extent of being unconscious, of being closed off, of being the anathema of love absolute and what we are. And we are returning from that. We're bringing all of us home and into a whole new, in all of the existence, not just this planet and the people, humans on it, but all of existence, into this new octave, this new quantum jump beyond of expansion of consciousness and all that is, and the next new iteration of all that we are creating. And this is how we get there. Any movements to hold the pitchforks and hold the and emit the same frequency that those one labels and wants to go after, because we are in that doing, we are diving into the same depths of frequency. It's all frequency. And so I just feel that it was important for me to answer the call to have this conversation in a public way, that this is something for all to prepare for. Nobody else exists, just you in this moment as you prepare for this, and look through this process for yourself, for others you know directly or indirectly, for things and beings you see on the world stage and all of that, because that is the way we let go of this. That is the way we balance this. That is the way we come to a cosmic balancing of accounts. And that is the way that the beings who have made choices, who have many ways to describe it, wronged, infringed, total lack of light, darkness, evil, all sorts of things. That is how we all come together to move through that and out of that, and never, ever, 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 ever need to repeat this expansive learning. And that is what this really is all about. Is it difficult on many levels? You bet. Did we know this would be the case? You bet. Is this one of the main reasons that things are going on as seemingly long as they are, so that we wake up to things? Absolutely. It's not just to wake up to see the truth of what has been happening in a linear level. It is to come to a broader and broader, deeper and deeper, more and more expansive, fully encompassing consciousness aperture so that we can actually see what really has been going on and what really is unfolding and what really is so in the truth of who we are. The totality of what as it relates to the evolution on this planet, which, as I say, is going everywhere, as creator beings. And so I did a video not that long ago about, attachments to different things and seeing, one's roles that one's playing and maybe being surprised by that, thinking they were the good guys or whatever, and they're, in the bad guy category or vice versa, and you'll see a lot of that. But that this is one of the things to prepare for and work through and move through for each one of us. Because it's the only way to unwind and unbind it all. It's the only way to go through, to come out and expand into all we are. And we're magnificent. And what we are expanding into is something that we have never been. No being ever, in form or no form, has ever been what is about to be come into fruition, creation in each being, whether they're embodied or not. It's all brand new. And this is the way we do it. Any energy invested in the constricted things that I've talked about will limit the being who is in that vibrational frequency and neighborhood, and no one else. And that's part of the work. That's part of the expansion. That's part of the darkness that we all need to go through and come out of. And there will be accounting, an account. There will be a shifting of ways. There will be various ways, and each will choose, of making things right or balancing things out or being accountable for things done, responsible for new choices and setting things into motion for helping balance old actions.